Our next contestant, Jenny Locklin, contestant number 6. Contestant number 6, Jenny Locklin.
Thank you, Paul. Wow, by round of applause, how many of you have ever been to a Toastmasters meeting? Yes? Wow. Wow. All right, so that's most of you, but those of you who have never been to a Toastmasters meeting, you probably already know that we learn some pretty amazing skills at our meetings, right? The problem is we get a little carried away, and sometimes we take what we learn at Toastmasters and we let it affect other areas of our life. For instance, like, have you ever been scheduled for Timer Joke Master, right? And you look up a knock-knock joke on the internet, and you deliver it to your meeting, and you kill it. And you think, I am a natural comedian. I gotta take this show on the road, right? And so the next thing you know, there I am, backstage at an open mic comedy night. I was so nervous. I was the only middle-aged mother surrounded by like 20-year-old dudes. And the guy in front of me starts jumping up and down. And I said, what are you doing? And he goes, well, you gotta get your nerves out somehow. I was like, oh, yeah. So I started to jump up and down. But I'm a middle-aged mother. And there's a reason why you don't see a lot of 45-year-old women jumping rope. Okay, prepare to be traumatized, sir. I peed. It happens, and I had on gray joggers, and I think we all know what happens when the color gray gets wet. It's very obvious. And it was at that moment when the MC was like, put your hands together for Jenny Locklin. A small part of me died that night, sir. Now, the other part of that role that we do at Toastmasters is the joke master, is the timer, right? The timer, we're timing everything. When you go to a meeting, we're green light, yellow light, red light. They're timing me right now, right? But then we leave the meeting, and we start timing everything. Like, how long has it taken to get the green light? How long has it taken the dog to go, right? And then we start timing things that really shouldn't be timed, like yoga. Do you know that they say time does not exist in yoga? But it does if you're a Toastmaster. So I had never been to yoga. If you've never been to yoga, you walk in, okay? And it's all social distanced. They're all 6 feet away from each other, which is, it's very hard, that whole 6-foot rule, because, we women have been told, our whole life, that, this is 10 inches. Right? So if this is 10 inches, what is 6 feet? We have no perception of depth, right? So they roll out the mats, they dim the lights, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be like assisted napping for 58 minutes. I'm gonna timer. But it's not, it wasn't, okay? Because the instructor is teaching these poses, okay? But a pose, is like, right? We can all do a pose. These are not poses, people. These are like contortions. So, and everything is very positive. It's like warrior pose, goddess pose, fierce. Okay, I don't know what that looks like. Let's name some things we can relate to, right? Like broken dreams pose, right? How about bad back? How about bum knee? How about sciatica surprise? Those are, I can get behind that. Then there's all these like animal poses, right? It's like up dog, down dog, cat, crow. You know, there's camel toe. It's I'm like, let's pick some animals we can relate to, huh? How about like elephant in the room? How about that one? How about horse's ass? I can relate to that one. Okay, how about beached whale? We can all do that. Mad cow? Where is the mad cow pose? I'd like to see that one. So finally, I'm like, you know what? I can't move anymore. I'm clapping this lady down. So I start clapping her down. She's like, oh, no. We don't clap in yoga. We just bow our head and say, namaste. And I'm like, but as grammarian, I think you meant to say, instead of namaste, I think what you really should have said is, ain't no way, because we're just not going to do this, right? Now, what's another one? Evaluator, right? We're evaluating at Toastmasters all the time. We're giving our speakers feedback, right? Telling them what's good, what could be improved. But then we do the same thing. We start evaluating and giving feedback to our friends, right? Our family, our spouses. Does this ever happen to you, sir? What? Right? Bob, honey, I'd like to give you some feedback on last night's presentation. You know, sweetie, I know you're working out of the Your Body Speaks manual. And here's the thing, though, Bob. Wow, I loved your opening. You know, you really got my attention. It was like, ooh, I couldn't wait. But then, you know, I wasn't really sure where you were going. It was a lot of beating around the bush, you know, and yeah. And then, you know, your closing, I wasn't really sure if you were done. I know I certainly wasn't. So maybe next time, Bob, I recommend you know, here's some things that could make you even better, right? You could maybe videotape yourself. I know all the experts do it. I know it's a little hard to watch, but maybe refer back to your manual, page 69. You know, I don't know. But I think, Bob, you know, you put all this together, sweetie, and I think, you know, it'll be so great. I will be like, yes, Bob, go, Bob, go. Oh. I think we just came up with a new pose. Oops, I did it again. Mr. MC.
Great job. Jenny Locklin.